Good morning, YouTube friends. It's Tuesday morning. I've got some help here. Hetty arrived bright and early. She's taking care of business downstairs. So I'm upstairs in my little office doing my video editing stuff and getting caught up on Facebook and so on, relaxing with a mug of coffee. Yesterday was a bad day to start with. Heather went down. She fainted, as has happened in the past. I think some of you are aware of that because I made a post about it on my community page. And what happened was that as I was bustling about in the morning, had her changed and ready for the day, I was getting breakfast ready and coffee ready, and I let her push her wheelchair, which she's been doing lately, very slowly, just a little shuffle. And she ended up getting stuck in the corner of our kitchen cabinets. There's a Google display there that shows photos of our family, rotating slideshow, and she got stuck there watching that. And after, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, I thought I would redirect her and get her sitting in her comfortable chair. No, to go have breakfast. But I couldn't pry her out of the corner. She wanted to stay there. So I thought, okay, let's leave her for a while. And I sat down for 15 or so minutes. And when I looked up, I noticed she was bent over and there was something clearly wrong. And as I walked towards her, I saw that she was going down. She was going to faint. So I gently eased her to the floor, and she lay there. I quickly grabbed a pillow to put under her head. And of course, I listened to her breathing, which got shallow. And I noticed her back of her neck was sweaty and cold and clammy. Exactly the same thing that's happened in the past. And, rather than panicking, although every time that happens, I wonder, is this the day that Heather is going to die in my arms? It's very stressful. But she didn't. She was just fainting. And it's a vasovagal syncope response. I know it for a fact. Like, she's been checked out by the ER doctors in the past. They did ECGs and so on. There are no cardiac issues. So, and sure enough, she's been constipated for a couple of days. So, anyways, I called Hetty, who was over to my house within 5 minutes or so. And Heather came to. She was cheerful. She was laughing. Her color was good. Her breathing was back. So between the two of us, we got her back on her feet. It wasn't a huge struggle. With two people, it's manageable. I could have called 911 and got an EMS to help pick her up, but I decided not to. And it's okay. We managed just fine. I had the gait belt around her waist, so we had handles there and her arms. There was no danger. Nobody was going to get hurt here. We got her back on her feet. No problem. And then later in the day, I gave her that, Senecote laxative. And sure enough, later in the day, like after supper, she had a large bowel movement. Everything was fine. She's cheerful, laughing this morning. Everything's forgotten. Everything's fine. So that was my day yesterday. And then there's a series of videos I recorded over the last 2 days, and I'm going to string those together in some kind of a order. I'm not a professional video producer, so bear with me. And I hope you continue to enjoy visiting with us, which is essentially what it is, and to capture some of the nuance of this dementia journey and how I manage it as a caregiver and how Heather is functioning as your internet YouTube friend now, whom we all love and admire for her strength. And that's it. So let's see what comes next. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and like the video and share it if you like. So that's it. Here comes the rest
Don't
of the
worry about her
video.
hydration. I don't want her to get
Yeah,
dehydrated.
no, I know. I work on that
But
too.
it's funny. It works.
Here,
and I
Kate-
have it anchored so it doesn't fall down.
Kate came up with a new extendo straw. Wow, you're getting your hair done. Look pretty cute, Heather.
We're at the spa. Might do our toes again later.
Okay, so what a treat. Again, Kate is here for the whole day. and showered Heather, and I can tune out. But it takes me an hour, 2 hours just to kind of come down and get out of that panic state. And I find that I'm always I don't think fight or flight is the right word for it, but I'm always in a sort of a heightened state of anxiety, always worrying and just ready to deal with issues. And that's 7 days a week, and that's been going on for 3 years or so. So it's hard for me to really relax, and even if I have a couple of hours or more to myself, I never really come down. But certainly on a day like today, where I know there's absolutely nothing that Kate can't handle, on a day like today with that level of care, and also when I have my caregivers, professional caregivers, I can sort of tune out and do my own thing. So that's terrific. So I'm off to IKEA, and I think I need a new desk. So I'm at least gonna go look for the desks, and I might have a cup of coffee in the restaurant and relax a bit. So that's my morning. Well, I'm just relaxing in my new living room here. Swanky, isn't it? And it's actually it's it's actually an IKEA. And I just get a call from Northwood staffing or whatever it is about home care. And they have to send an occupational therapist in on Tuesday because they had some slight concerns about Heather's mobility and how she gets out of chairs and so on. So they have to do an assessment to make sure that it works with their care helpers. See, this is the difference between hiring privately and having care helpers come through an agency, is that if I hire privately, they don't have the same number of rules or constraints. They just get the work done. So with an agency like Northwood, God love them, they go through a list. They want to make sure that there's no dog in the house, and if there is a dog in the house, the dog has to be contained in another part of the house somewhere, locked up while the worker is there. They want to make sure they go through a list that there's no alcohol issues or drugs or weapons or sharps containers. There's a whole list of things like that. And now also apparently Heather's mobility is a concern. So when I hired privately, none of that stuff is on the radar. Like, the private workers are happy to do anything at all without these organizational concerns. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just something to work through. I worked in a bureaucracy for 30 years, so I know how to navigate this stuff. It is what it is. So I'm going to carry on walking around my house. My IKEA house. Here's the rest of my new living room. Okay, so I found what I was looking for, a sit-stand desk. What a nice one. And now I need to navigate to where to go pick this thing up. I got my shopping done. I bought a sit-stand desk with an electric motor that makes it go up and down. This was Kate's suggestion. Okay, so Kate has been cleaning up around the house here and organizing stuff and looking in a couple of drawers in the bathroom with mysterious things that I know nothing about that Heather set up over the years. And she found this. And this is a CPAP mask. Goes over the nose. I use a CPAP, but I can't stand this thing. This is from years ago. So I just remembered why this was in the drawer. Heather, who was a professional licensed respiratory therapist or respiratory therapist for years, saved that in case Penny ever needed breathing assistance, that this would fit over Penny's snout and we could breathe in here to give her respiration. That shows you what kind of woman she was. Is pretty amazing. I'm happy if I can make you laugh a little bit. That's all I want.
I don't know if it's recording or not, but I think I took a photo. Oh yeah, it is. I just got the end. So you just turn it on and it records.
Thank you. That's good. I'm
Catch the cuties! Oh,
Couple of cuties. My girl. She even smells nice. What do you think, Heather? Give you another little kiss on the cheek? She's pretty sweet.
Oh, don't cancel recording.
Well, it was a busy day. Got a lot of stuff done, and thanks to Kate being here, taking care of all kinds of things, including cleaning up stacks of clothing and shoes and so on that I hadn't gotten to. All went out the door. Fantastic. And I got a new desk from IKEA. That's all set up. And so this is the end of the day. It's 7:15, a late supper. And we'll watch a little more TV and then bedtime. Right? What do you think of that? Here's a piece of chicken. And I think I've mentioned I'm vegetarian. I'm actually vegan in diet, plant-based diet. Heather is not. Heather's an omnivore, but she eats whatever's provided, of course. So, like I bought a bag of frozen strips of chicken breast and sliced up chicken breast. So I cook that for her once in a while. I'm having tofu. Heather's having chicken. I've got a box of frozen haddock as well. So sometimes she'll have fish, frozen fish fillets. And that's that. So we're listening to Fiddler on the Roof, If I Were a Rich Man, and soon we'll be tucking into some pad thai from Thai Express, and that was paid for by Uber Eats dollars that were gifted to us from my bandmates, my beautiful Samba Nova bandmates. And of course, little miss knows there's food coming. Come on, Heather, let's work our way to the table here. This just takes patience. She makes it. She gets distracted and walks very slowly. Heather, come to the dining table for supper. I just have to keep a little bit of pressure on. This way, honey. So I have to pull a bit. And I might end up grabbing your other hand. Can you make it? Little tiny steps. And then a little further. And then I'm just going to drag the table over. Okay. Want to sit there? Yep, the chair's behind you. You're okay. You can sit there. You're safe. Okay, and now I drag the table over. And I'm going to go dish up the pad thai. So I'll usually serve up lemonade using Country Time lemonade drops for Heather. Sometimes I'll have a beer.
Allow them to do just
Watching a Teepa Snow video on
that transfer without us just doing it.
Right.
how to
Because
transfer
they
somebody from a
still
bed to a
need
wheelchair
use those
safely.
muscles and
Good show, eh, Heather?
keep the body moving as long.
So, watching Tipa demonstrate how to get transfer somebody from a bed to a wheelchair, I just naturally do everything the right way, except that when she picks her person up off the bed, she puts her arms around their waist, I guess somewhere not in the armpits, but below the armpits, and then bends and pulls them off the bed that way. That won't work with Heather because your bed is too low for that. But we have a hospital bed coming on the 10th, I think, of March. I think it's the 10th of March. And I'll be able to raise it up. And that would make that maneuver possible. But currently, I hold Heather's hands and then she actually pulls. She knows enough to pull herself up towards me. So between the two of us, there's no danger of pulling her arms out of the sockets or whatever. As you know, it might be the case with an old, frail person. Heather's strong. You're strong. You're strong. You were a swimmer. You were a swimmer for the longest time and a hard worker. You got good, strong arms. I'm not going to pull your joints apart. I know that, right? You strong? You're strong. You're strong. So other than that, I'm watching Tipa here, and she basically hugs the person and then rocks back and forth to pivot 90 degrees and line the backs of the knees up with the edge of the chair. Exactly what I've been doing. So that's reassuring to see that. So I thought I would try that Tipa Snow approach to picking Heather up, which I thought wasn't going to work. But normally I'd grab her arms and lean back and pull her up. But I think we'll try this. And I just tried it, and it works great. It works great. So arms around the back, and then keep my back straight, and using my big thigh muscles. Using the thigh muscles works great. That was successful, Heather. Now I'm going to help you turn around. Help you turn around. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Now we're going to lean the chair so that it's right behind your knees. There you go. Okay. There you go. There, you're all set. Comfy? Now let's watch the two Ronnies. That Eileen sure is a nice, cheerful, happy, and caring helper. She's quite amazing, I have to say. And that was my experience with Riza as well. Riza was also pretty great. I guess that's what happens when you get a professional like that. That's their job, and they're focused on it. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with that. Off to do some errands. And of course, I managed to sneak in another little trip to Home Depot to get some plywood because I got to make a ramp so that Heather's commode chair, which is also a shower chair, can roll up into the shower stall. So I got a small, handy panel of 1/2-inch plywood. I want some of that. Give me some of that. I want some cereal. Right, honey? Okay, we're trying something a little different this morning. And it makes me wonder if maybe I need a walker, but I tell you, the house is getting crowded now. It works. That's great. Okay, I came up with a new game. I'm going to sit in the chair and get Heather to push me around. Push. Push. Come on. I'm actually using my feet a little bit. Come on, push, push. Push, push, push. Definitely getting some steps in. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Look, she's turning on her own. Very impressive, Heather. Very impressive. navigating and everything. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little visit with us, and lots of good times. I tend to focus on the happy stuff and the upbeat stuff. You know, obviously there's downtime as well, like yesterday's fainting incident, but you know, we just roll with it, take it a day at a time, and hope you enjoyed that. As always, please like and subscribe and share this if you wish, because I think we might want to get my videos out to a bigger audience and try to be helpful. Okay, guys, stay strong. You're not alone. Have a great day.